Well, I got one from Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
He's got a problem.
Oh, Thomas, I'm here for you, buddy.
He's hoping you guys might have an answer for him.
I hope so too.
He says, "How do y'all deal with women who fetishize your kilt? He's 40, single and dating, and it's wild."
How do you deal with it if you're 40, single, and wild? You shut the hell up and you enjoy the ride, my friend.
Count your blessings?
Yes, indeed.
I don't know. There's attention, there's unwanted attention, and
I'm assuming, based on the way Mac phrased that, that the attention is welcome, so to speak.
okay, but
At some point, it may be
how
not
do you
welcome.
How do you handle it? So I'm assuming
Right.
he's on a date and he's got all these other people coming up. Is how I'm taking it. So he's trying to beat off the attackers and focus on the date that he has at hand.
Yeah, that's a completely different
Yes,
kind
that's a different angle.
of
For me, it's one of those where show respect for the woman you are with if you are out on a date, or the person you're with if you're out on a date. So, yeah, it's creepy and rude if you are clearly with somebody for someone to come up to you and approach you or try to grab you or that kind of thing. If you're obviously with somebody, so I would kind of. If it's that scenario, we're going to start there. That scenario, you're with somebody on a date and somebody comes up to you and, says something or, puts their hand on your leg. How I would probably handle it is I would grab their hand and move it away, be like, "Excuse me, it's inappropriate." And just kind of in a stern, non-threatening, as polite as you can be in that moment way, just, "That's inappropriate. Let's not do that, shall we? I'm here with my friend Lisa today, so I'd appreciate a little bit of decorum from you, please." You scold them in a classy way. You don't make a big scene about it. You don't make a big fuss, but you remove them. A lot of times it happens at a bar where the women have had a few things, a few libations, a few cocktails, and human nature is what human nature is, and some women really dig on guys in kilts. So if I was with someone, that is probably how I would handle it. Or, and if it becomes a problem, like they won't leave you alone, maybe say, like, "Look, I don't want to have to ask the bartender to intervene here. Just please leave us alone. I'm on a date with this person. I really am not interested. Thank you for all the affection and the interest, but I'm not interested." And move on from there. If it really is an issue, then talk to a bouncer or talk to the bartender and be like, "Look, she's really creeping me out. Can you ask her to knock it off, please, and intervene here?" And have the establishment kind of step in. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's basically it. If you are on a date with somebody, the whole point is that you are giving them your full attention. And there's a lot of different angles to dealing with kilt lifters in general. But if you are on a date with someone already, then this is your opportunity to basically reinforce for them that you are only interested in their attention. And honestly, frankly, it's just I don't like this behavior in general. Consent is important. I don't care who you are or what the context is. Personal space is important. Consent is important. And just because I'm wearing a kilt is not because I'm trying to get your sexual overtures. I mean, that's like people saying that women dress for the sake of wanting to get guys' attention. It's just a falsehood. So, yes, you need to be firm and gentlemanly about it if you can. And I think communicating with your date is important also. So say, "I hope this isn't too much for you," and this depends on how comfortable they are with you being in a kilt too. I mean, how long have you been dating this person? Or is this brand new, or did you wear it to impress them? And we know sometimes that some women are like, "Oh, I don't want to go out with him in a kilt because he's going to get all this attention. I'm going to feel insecure." So making sure you're sensitive to her feelings specifically is the first thing. That's the foundation. And it may be that you need to say, "I get some attention like this sometimes. I hope you understand this is my personal expression. I want you to be comfortable. How are you feeling?" Communicate with them first. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Now
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to jump onto an expansion of the topic, so go ahead.
Okay. But now let's go the other direction. You're not on a date. You're just out with your friends at a bar.
Right.
And women come up and approach you great. Use it as an icebreaker. If I could travel back in time to, 21, 22, 23-year-old Rocky and be like, dude, you're not the best looking guy in the world, but if you want women to talk to you, if you want an icebreaker that's easy as anything, wear a kilt. If I could have, laid that knowledge on myself back then, I would have had a lot more fun times at bars. I would have gotten a lot more drinks bought for me at bars. That is one thing that I never experienced pre-wearing a kilt, or if I'm at a bar without a kilt on, a pair of jeans or something, no one ever was like, hey, I want to buy that guy a drink. It just doesn't happen. But when you're wearing a kilt, whether it's guys buying you drinks or women buying you drinks, it happens. It's a weird phenomenon. So, and it's been a long time since I've been to the bar. So anyway, but I would say use it as an icebreaker. Now, if someone is, you use your powers for good, but use it to your advantage.
Right.
So, if someone's walking up and, grabbing you, then I would probably, push it off, period. But, and I wouldn't, if you think of the longer term, if I'm 40 years old, I'm at a bar and a woman comes up to me and just reaches up my kilt and tries to grab my butt. Is that the type of woman you really want to date anyway? That would just walk up to a random stranger and grab their butt?
Right.
Not me. It might be okay for a one-night stand, but it's not something I'm going to want to date in general. How many other guys' butts does she walk up and grab? So I would say, I would use it as a little bit of an icebreaker. And if a person wants to start talking to you or wants to start, buying you a drink or having a discussion or bring you into the group of friends so that you can all kind of hang out, great. Use that to your advantage. But I think there's still some kind of line with, that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And turnabout's fair play. We don't often talk about, guys having that kind of thing occur to them because it occurs a lot less often than it happens to women. But it's not right one way. It's not right the other way either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we talk about how a man in a kilt is a man and a half. Part of that's the confidence, but with that confidence also comes an internalized sense of dignity, and that includes a sense of boundaries. And it also includes the assumption that you are a capable, strong person and you will control a situation if you have to. That's what confidence really comes down to, right? So I think that, your boundaries are important and consent is important, like I said, and you have a right to be self-respecting enough that you don't take that kind of attention if you don't want it. What are you looking for in a date right now? I mean, are you looking for just a hookup? Then okay, maybe, but if you're not looking for just a hookup and you want to have an actual enjoyable interaction with somebody on more than just a physical level, then you deserve to have some standards and not be objectified. Yeah. I mean, if a woman comes up to you and is like, I really admire your kilt and I'd like to learn more about it. I'd like to learn more about you. You seem like a really interesting guy. Let me buy you a drink. That's great.
That's perfect. That's like the ideal scenario.
That is the ideal scenario.
Where they understand that it's, where the line is and you don't have to explain it to them. So
if it's the, hey, is it true what they say about what guys wear under their kilt? A, they're not very much of a class act, and B, you don't know if they're even serious about being interested in you, or if it's just the novelty and the freak show aspect of it's like, here, watch me. I'm gonna go ask him, what's under the kilt. I'm gonna ask him, watch. They could just be fooling around to be stupid with their friends. So,
I have a random.
Maybe I'm being cynical.
Random thing I saw recently that kind of. It applies here. It was it was like a TikTok video or something. Somebody talking about giving advice to women. A guy giving advice to women on how to find your dream man. So, and it applies for men as well. So, what his advice was what if you could make up your dream man or your dream woman? What would they be doing on the weekends? Where would you want them to be? Would you want them to be at a reenactor event because you're a reenactor and you'd love to meet someone there? Would they be crocheting? Would they be or going to a knitting club? Would they be walking around the mall? Would they be at a bar? Would they be at a Celtic festival? Or would they be fishing? So, or are they really into cars? Is that the type of man or the type of woman you want? Great. Go there.
Yeah.
If you're a woman who likes cars and likes guys that are into cars, great. Go to car shows. That's where you try to meet that guy. If you're going to bars to meet people on a Saturday night, you're going to meet people at the bar who like to go to bars on Saturday night. If that's not what you want to be for the rest of your life, then the chances are you're not going to find the right person there. Imagine your dream candidate, what you want them to be doing on the weekends. Are they a soccer coach, playing with kids? Are they in the park? Whatever. Great. Go to those places and look for people there, make friends there, and then that's maybe where you find the mate. And they already have the built-in interest that you're already looking for. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with it. So if you're looking for, you said you're single, so if you're looking for someone who likes kilts and maybe won't fetishize it but enjoys the culture, great. Go to Celtic festivals and just talk to random people and try to meet people there.
Or at least if you're going to go to a bar, go to a themed bar where you may not be the only person in a kilt. I mean,
or go to a music venue.
Right.
Or that kind of thing.
No, I mean, lifelong partnerships aside, I mean, just finding someone who'd be fun to hang out with. I have personally had a lot more success with finding people in scenes that I'm interested in because we have a shared interest already. You have a cultural context. You have a language in common. You know, the whole going out to the bar to find a date thing has never appealed or worked for me personally. So,
yeah.
And consequently, I really haven't had much trouble with kilt lifters in my life. I've had a few instances, but most of the time it has not come up because I'm going to places where
it's not really a thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. Or people aren't inebriated.
Yeah.
I would say most of the time when that happens, it's people are drunk.
A lot of time.
I'd say probably 80% of the time it's alcohol is involved.
Yep.
So if you don't want alcohol to be involved, then go to places where there's less alcohol. So cool. I hope that helps.
And wear sunscreen.
Mac.
Noah said he'd buy you a beer, Rocky.
It's very kind of you, Noah.
Interesting question, isn't it? So tell us in the comments, where do you land? Is this fun flirtation? You just kind of have to go with the flow and accept that people are going to do things? Or are you more on the side of trying to control your personal space and your dignity? Tell us how you handle these situations if you've ever been in one. People who are new to this really want to know all the advice they can get, so share.